DreAllDay.com. Tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves anyone out there, especially yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one book, one show, one masterclass. Daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic: why you need a team around you. You cannot do it all by yourself. If you have tried, I already know that you have failed, and if you do try, you will fail. Today, we are talking about why you need to get people around you. Maybe you already been told this before, but you have not yet emotionally internalized the concept. Maybe you have people around you right now, and because it's been so difficult dealing with those motherfuckers, that you're thinking about getting rid of them. You're thinking about, why don't I just go back to doing this by myself, because it was much easier when it was just me and I didn't have to deal with all these other people. Maybe you're thinking about going backwards. And yes, that would be going backwards, going from having a team around you to having no team and doing it all yourself. And there are many reasons why you can't do it all yourself, many reasons why you should not ever try to do it all yourself. And maybe you have already experienced this again. Maybe you are experiencing it right now. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe you think you don't need to have people around you. Maybe you've seen some other people have people around them and those people weren't really helping as much as you thought they should be helping. So you're like, all right, well, I'm not gonna make that mistake. I'm gonna tell you why you do need a team around you, all right? And why you need to emotionally internalize this concept, not just logically understand the concept. All right, logically understanding it is you just hearing everything that I say and being able to repeat it to me. Right, emotionally understanding the concept is you not only having the logical understanding of it and being able to explain it, but also actually employing this and implementing it in your life. You understand what I'm saying? All right, yeah, obviously you understand it, but are you going to actually implement what I'm saying? That's the question that you can't answer with your words. You only be able to answer with your actions. But I want to make sure I'm being clear about this up front. So as we get deeper into this, you understand exactly why I'm saying all the things that I'm saying. You will understand as I go into my points. And maybe, look, some of you might be doing pretty well just doing everything by yourself. You're a solo show and it's working for you. Listen, I was a solo show for a fair amount of time and things were working for me for a good amount of time. When I first started the Work on Your Game show, back then it was called the Work on Your Game podcast. It's not a podcast anymore. It is now a masterclass. And when I first started the Work on Your Game podcast, I was pretty much working by myself. I had an audio person doing audio for me. Then I found another audio person doing audio for me, still doing it for me now. But I've expanded since then. I expanded the responsibilities of even audio people who were doing things, expanded the responsibilities of what else I wanted done, what other roles that I wanted filled, because I realized all the things. I realized through trial and error, many of the things I'm going to share with you here today. I didn't just realize them by listening to somebody else and being able to, I wasn't wise enough to learn from their logic. Actually, I wasn't wise enough to even seek these people out to even get their logic. So it's not like I ignored it. I just didn't have it. I didn't know what I didn't know. It was unconscious incompetence. I'm going to solve that problem for you here today. You will learn what having a team can do for you that you cannot do for yourself, and or how a team can help you do more and better work than what you are doing right now. All right, that's something that you're interested in. If you don't want to be a solo show forever, because there are many failure points when you're a solo show, we'll get into that, then you should be listening very closely to what I'm going to say here today. Make sure you save this, download it, put it on your phone. Make sure you have it available for offline listening in case you're on a plane or you go somewhere where ain't no Wi-Fi access or whatever you have going on. And take notes on everything I'm saying here so that you have your own personal interpretation of what I say, not just the exact words that I say. Point number one. Today's topic, once again, is why you need a team around you. Number one, time. So number one reason why you need a team around you is time. Time is the most valuable resource known to man, and you, personally, you do not have enough time to do everything that you'll need done and still have time left over to enjoy it. Let me say that again. You don't have enough time to both do everything that needs to be done and still have time left over to enjoy having done everything. You might have one or the other. You might have time left over to enjoy life, but you're not getting everything done. Or you may have time to get everything done, but you won't be able to enjoy life. All right, you will have to pick one. One of them is going to lose if you're doing everything by yourself. When you have other people around you helping you do things, that you are borrowing their time. Usually you're buying their time because you're going to pay them, right? Or you're paying them some other way. Maybe you're giving them stock in your company. Maybe they are maybe they have ownership in your company. Maybe they're a 50-50 partner with you, or whatever the situation is. They're getting something in exchange for their time that allows you and them to get a whole lot more done because you're working off the synergy of other people's skills. You don't have enough time to do it all yourself. All right? If you want to get things done while you're still alive to realize them and thus be able to bask in the glory of having gotten them done, you must recruit help. Theoretically, I could do everything that's required in my business. Everything that Work on Your Game Incorporated puts out, from the books to the audio masterclasses to the courses to the membership stuff to the social media to everything that gets produced that has my name on it or company name on it. I could do all of it. There's nothing that happens in this company that I don't know how to do it. And I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you that to impress upon you that I still don't do it all by myself. Theoretically, I could, but I don't. It would take me all day just to stay in neutral. That's the problem with this. And trust me, I know from personal experience. I would spend all day working, work really hard, be tired at the end of the day, but I wasn't actually making any strategic progress, even though I was working really hard and doing a whole lot of work. I was grinding. I was working on my game. I was grinding. I wasn't team no sleep, but I was team, I don't know what you call it, when you just work hard all day and you're tired at the end of the day. Whatever that team is called, I was on that team. I was the captain of that team. But I was not making any strategic progress because there was no time left over for me to do the strategic stuff. I was spending my whole day tactically making sure the boat stayed floating. You understand what I'm saying? I was doing all this stuff just to stay afloat. Some of you entrepreneurs, brand builders, content creators, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm describing your life right now, right back to you. You know that I'm talking to you. I could not advance if I was doing everything on my own to this very day. Between the overseas basketball blueprint, we got that show, we got videos there, we got videos on YouTube, we got articles coming out every day, we got email automations coming out, we got articles posted on the website, we got multiple websites that we keep up, we got landing pages, we got sales funnels, we got this masterclass coming out every day, we got some of it coming out on the free platforms, and we got the full material coming out on the game group platform, and then we got the membership site over there, not to mention anything that I would want to do strategically to help move myself and my business forward. There is not enough time for me to do all of that, even to stay afloat stuff to this very day. There are things that have been added on to the workflow of Work on Your Game's business that if there is not a team around me, all of these things cannot keep going. Not all of them. Some of them, maybe even a majority of them, but all of them could not keep going. Now, one person couldn't do all the things that happen now. And that is a position of vulnerability where you can't do everything yourself anymore, even if you wanted to. So if you want to just fire everybody and do everything on your own, you could not do it. You would have to replace and find other people or sacrifice some things when you get to that point. And a lot of people actually self-sabotage and don't allow themselves to get big enough to where they would be in that situation just so they can maintain control and never be in a position of vulnerability to the fact that a team must be in place to do their thing. It doesn't even have to be the specific people who are there now. It's just the fact that you need somebody, period. That is vulnerability, because you can't do it all yourself. And there are a lot of entrepreneurs who don't want to feel that vulnerability. They don't want to be in that position. Therefore, they keep themselves small. Maybe now I'm talking to you. Maybe I wasn't talking to you before. Maybe I'm talking to you now. Some of you know who you are if I'm talking to you. And if I could help you out with that, I can. If you would like me to help you out with that, is a better way of saying it. You need to send me an email, dre@dreallday.com. You cannot advance doing everything by yourself. You can stay afloat, but you can't advance. When you use other people's time, you get more stuff done and you're able to help more people in a shorter period of time. Now, why does the period of time matter? Because one day is going to be over for you. One day is going to be over for the people that you want to help. So you don't have 5 years to get done something that should take you 6 months. You shouldn't take 5 years for something that should take you 6 months. That's a better way of saying it. Because you ain't guaranteed 5 years. You're not even guaranteed 6 months. So you might as well get it done sooner rather than later. All right, the time, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? Technically, as I'm recording, it's 2:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the time is actually now. All right, that's the time. It is always now. It doesn't matter when you're listening to this, time is always now. Any McDonald's owner can make a Big Mac and bag up fries if they had to, but they wouldn't have many customers and it wouldn't be fast food anymore because it'd be taking them too damn long to serve one person. You understand? McDonald's is McDonald's because they can serve a whole lot of people in a short period of time. Apple is Apple because they can serve a whole lot of people in a short period of time. If you're a solo show right now, you may be serving a good amount of people in maybe a short amount of time, what you consider to be a short amount of time. You can serve a whole lot more for a lot higher return on investment if you had some other people working with you and you had their time along with your time. So instead of 1 hour being 1 hour from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, instead of getting 1 hour of work done, you can get 10 hours of work done because you get 1 hour from you and 1 hour from 9 other people. Now you got 10 hours of work being done. Would you get a lot more done if you had 10 hours of work for every 1 hour of actual time to pass? I mean, as long as you know how to delegate, as long as you know how to explain things, as long as you have some kind of idea of what the hell you're trying to do and why you're doing it, I think you can get a lot more done in an hour if you have more than one person helping you. If you have more than 2 hands, more than one brain, I think you could. What do you think? You want some help with delegation? See masterclass number 1100 is titled Delegation 101 for Entrepreneurs. One of my best and most popular masterclasses to this very day. It's number 1100, Delegation 101 for Entrepreneurs, and the masterclass number 664, How to Delegate Work in Your Business. And also did a masterclass called Stop Doing All the Work Yourself. That is masterclass number 1099. So 1099 and 1100. Entrepreneurs, stop doing all the work yourself, and Delegation 101. I suggest you download those, get access to them through the gang group membership. Whatever you gotta do, make sure you get those masterclasses. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is why you need a team around you. I already told you time is one reason. Here's the second reason. Talent. You need a team around you because of talent. And what do I mean? I don't mean the talent of other people. I mean the talent that you don't have. Yes, you heard me correctly. I know that there are talents that you don't have. I only have to know you. You ain't got every talent. This is the second thing that you must admit. First of all, you have to admit you don't have time in unlimited quantities. We all can agree that we all got 24 hours in a day, right? Here's the thing that you also need to admit. You don't have every talent necessary to do everything that you want to do in your business or in your life. You don't have the talent to do it all yourself. So it'll be impossible for you to get it done without the help of other people. You must admit this, that you are not talented in unlimited quantities. While maybe you can do everything on your own, as I can, you probably can't do everything well on your own. There's a difference between doing everything and doing everything well, okay? There's a huge difference. There's levels to this shit, right? All right, you could be an average graphic designer, you could be a good graphic designer. I told you stories maybe 30 masterclasses ago how I was talking to an entrepreneur friend of mine, and she was showing me some design that she had done. And I said, all right, and she said, I designed this myself. I said, I looked at it and it was trash. And I said, are you a graphic designer? She said, no. I said, I can tell. All right, you shouldn't be doing graphic design. She needs to hire a graphic designer. I told her, go on Fiverr and hire a graphic designer. She said, well, they use templates. I said, well, their templates are better than this shit that you made. So use those templates. Pay $5 for it. All right, it's worth more than whatever you want to call this that you created. You do not have every talent. Maybe you can do everything on your own, but you can't do it all well. It is levels to this shit. All right, I was a pretty good personal trainer of myself for many years. I became a professional athlete off it. I think that qualifies me as being a pretty good professional personal trainer, at least somewhat good personal trainer. Then I met Maria, who was an actual trainer, and I learned what a real talented certified strength and conditioning coach / functional trainer actually looked like, and it wasn't me. All right, Maria has some abilities that I didn't even know I didn't have. Did you hear what I just said? Let me say that one more time. I thought I was a good trainer because I had trained myself and I made it as a professional athlete. But then I met a real trainer and she had abilities that I didn't even know that I did not have. Do you understand? I didn't even realize that I was unconsciously incompetent until I met someone who had the competence that I didn't even know I was missing. I didn't even know I didn't know. Okay? That's the kind of talent you want to get on your team. And again, that's not an indictment of me. And if you take that parallel and put it on your life, it's not an indictment of you. It's not an indictment of your skills. This is something that all smart people do. You know what smart people do? Let me tell you what they do. They borrow other people's talent to move ahead faster and further. I'm pausing to let that sink in. Talented people borrow talent from other people to move themselves further ahead faster. Everybody got that? Puff Daddy did a masterclass on him. Sean Puff Daddy Combs, masterclass number 195, my first virtual mentors episode that I did. That guy didn't write any raps. He was the biggest star on his record label. He had a bunch of acts. They were all selling millions of records, all making a whole lot of money. He was the biggest star out of everybody. How? He didn't write any raps. He was the least talented musician in the room. He was making more money than everybody else in the room. How was that? Pretty smart businessman, I guess we could say. We had to give him credit for that, but also because the dude knew how to leverage other people's talent. Now, it's not like he was just sucking them dry. They were making money too. They were getting paid. They were stars too. All right, these people are still brand name stars to this very day, to the people who remember that era. But the point is, he became that big star not because he was the most talented person in the room, it's because he knew how to harness the talent of everybody else and help produce the highest return on investment for that talent. He helped them, those artists that he had on his label, he helped them create more success through him than they would have created on their own, even though they had more talent than he had, because he knew how to leverage other people's talents. Puff Daddy had a famous line on one of his songs. He said, "Don't worry, if I write rhymes, I write checks." And one of the points that he was making there was, listen, I'm not the most talented person in the room, but I run the business because I know what to do with that talent. There are many talented people out here who are not getting the ROI on their talent because they have no idea what to do with it. They don't know how to leverage that talent. And guess why you need a team? You don't need to figure out how to leverage your talent. You can learn. Listen to this masterclass. I've given you many masterclasses on how to leverage your talent. But one thing you can do is get a team around you. Find somebody who already knows how to leverage talent so you don't have to invest the time in learning it. You see how all this connects? You don't have to invest the time in learning it. You can leverage the talent that other people have of leveraging talent, and you can get the ROI. They eat, you eat, the public eats, win-win-win situation. You just got to learn how to leverage it. Any of you ever heard of Avon? Avon, the product company, what do we call that? Self-care products, Mary Kay, self-care products, any kind of network marketing or direct marketing company. What do? How do those companies sell their products? How do you get their products in the hands of other people? All they do is recruit salespeople to sell their stuff all over the world. I don't know who started Avon, but that person doesn't have to sell too much Avon. All they do is go find other people to sell Avon, and they do the selling. I don't know who, I guess the person who started Mary Kay, I guess her name is Mary Kay. So let's just say Miss Mary Kay didn't have to sell that much Mary Kay. All she did was find a whole bunch of women, and I guess men, to sell Mary Kay. They do the selling for her. She doesn't have to be the most talented salesperson. She might be the worst salesperson of the whole company, but guess what? She's making the money. And it's her name on those products. And the people who are selling for her, they're eating too. It's not, again, she's not using them. They get something, she gets something, the customer gets what they want. Everybody is winning because she is leveraging the talents of other people. You do not have to be the most talented person in the room. All you have to do is know how to leverage the talent of other people, or get a team around you. If you are the most talented person in the room, get a team of people around you who know how to leverage your talent so that everybody can eat. All right, you ain't got to figure it all out on your own. You may not have the time to do that, like we talked about in point number 1. DJ Khaled. Everybody knows who DJ Khaled is, right? And maybe if Puff Daddy's too old of a reference for you, DJ Khaled does not rap. DJ Khaled, a lot of people don't know this, DJ Khaled does not even produce most of the records that he puts out. Most of the records where he's screaming all over them, he didn't even produce the song. He didn't rap on the song. All he does is do those voiceovers, those ad-libs, but here's his skill. His skill is that he rounds up all the talent and gets them together and gets them on a song with his name on it, and then he's able to eat off that. That's his skill. And yes, that is a skill, in case you didn't want to recognize that. Don't be a hater. DJ Khaled does that. Puff Daddy did it. Avon does it. Mary Kay does it. They leverage other people's talent. When you build a team, you're either leveraging the talents of those people, or you are leveraging their talent, and they are helping you leverage your talent. All right, everybody's winning. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is why you need a team around you. You need to focus on the main thing. We just talked 3 days ago, about how to get in the zone in the business world. All right, you got to focus on the main thing. If you're focused on anything other than the main thing, you cannot get into your zone. You need to be focused on whatever that main thing is that you do. What do you do best? What are you great at? What can you do better than just about anybody or close to it? If an insurance adjuster, for example, put a price value on every skill that you have based on its marketability, meaning how much money could it possibly produce in the open market, which skill of yours will be worth the most? Now, an insurance adjuster, all right, these people are very anal, they're very analytic, all right, they are rarely emotionally driven, all right, in case any of you don't know any insurance adjusters. If that person had to put a price value on every skill you have, I'm repeating what I just said, but I'm laying it out in more detail. Every skill you have, they had to put a price value on it. Which skill of yours will be worth the most money? As laid out by an objective analytical, very anal individual who does not give a damn about you on any emotional level, what skill of yours is worth the most? Whatever your answer is to that question, that's what you need to be focused on. If you are finding yourself doing 2, 3, 10 other things outside of that number one thing, you need a team, because you are doing things that are taking you away from the main focus that is worth the most money based on your own assessment of yourself. You just admitted it yourself. So the question is, when you figure out what your most marketable skill is, i.e. the thing is worth the most money, how much time are you investing into that skill as opposed to how much time you spend doing everything else? So you take all the time you spend at work, okay? That's 100%. All the time you spend at work. What percentage of your work time are you focused on your most marketable ability versus what percentage you're using on everything other than your most marketable ability? My most marketable abilities are creation. That means I'm either on this microphone, on a camera, or I'm writing. Those are my three, those three things all go under the category of creating. Writing or speaking. Because if you're on video, you're speaking, right? A microphone, you're speaking. Those are my most marketable. I can't even say those. That's one thing. That's my most marketable skill. Anytime I spend doing something other than that, that means I need to put more team in place so that I can do less of those other things and I can focus on the main thing. This is the way you need to be able to assess yourself. You need to know what this is, even if you're still doing everything yourself right now, so that you know where you're going. You gotta know what the goal is, right? Like we talked about a couple days ago, getting focused in the business world, getting in the zone in the business world. You gotta know the game. You gotta know what your scoreboard is. You gotta know what the goal is. Where are you going? All right, you wanna make a movement out of what you're doing. Movements have to go somewhere. All right, movement is not just doing stuff and hoping something works out. All right, movement needs a goal. If there's no goal, it's not a movement. Damon Dash, who was Virtual Mentors number 4, he talked about this in his experience working with Jay-Z. This is masterclass number 488. He said all Jay-Z had to do was rap. All Jay-Z had to do was make songs. Now, why was Damon Dash saying that? He was explaining that Damon Dash, I was doing the business side of things. I was managing Jay-Z. I was booking his shows. I was making sure the events were right. I was making sure the contracts were right. I was cussing out the executives at the record labels who weren't doing business the right way. I handled all of that. So all Jay-Z had to do was get on the mic and do his talent, which was making music. Damon Dash couldn't rap, and Jay-Z, I guess, if Damon Dash's story is to be believed, he wasn't handling the business. Dame did his part, Jay-Z did his part, and they were a successful team, very successful brand. All he had to do was rap. Everything else was handled by the team. Now, wouldn't it be great if you, listening to this right now, if you know what your main skill is, wouldn't it be great if all you had to do was your main thing? If that's all you had to do, if you're a basketball player, if all you had to do was play ball and go to the gym and train and not worry about anything else, how great could you become in basketball? If you're a great dancer, all you had to do was dance. You didn't have to worry about nothing else. Just dance and take care of your body and go to sleep and eat. How great could you be as a dancer if you didn't have to focus on all the other things you got going on? You can still have those things going on too. This is the thing, this is the part that I want you to get. It's not that you would have to stop doing all these other things. Well, personally, you would stop doing them, but they wouldn't stop happening for you because you got a team in place and they are handling things on your behalf. And again, they're getting something, you're getting something, the public gets something, win-win-win situation. But you got to put a team in place. And you got to be willing to put yourself in a position of vulnerability to where you couldn't do everything on your own, even if you wanted to get rid of everybody and start back at scratch. And if you're not willing to step into that vulnerability, well, then you are limiting yourself. You're holding yourself back. This is some self-sabotage that you're doing. Any of you entrepreneurs who, again, you want some help with this, putting that team in place or at least getting some organization around, how do I even get started with this? You need to send me an email, dre@dreallday.com, or hit me in the DM, whatever platform you follow me on. Let's recap today's class, which is why you need a team around you. You cannot do it all yourself. You've probably been told this before. I probably told it to you before. Yet you have not emotionally internalized this concept because you are still doing it all by yourself. You're not even trying to figure out how to get out and around this, and I'm going to help you out with that. And when you have a team around you, you can do more and better work. Point number 1, time. A team gives you time, the most valuable resource known to man. You do not have enough time to do everything that you need done and still have time left over to enjoy it. You'll be dead by the time you achieve everything. Will you have time to enjoy it? No, unless you call laying in a casket enjoyment. It would take me all day just to stay in neutral. Back when I was doing everything by myself, I was just trying to stay afloat. You can't advance if you're doing everything on your own, especially the more that you take on and the better that you get. Any McDonald's owner, franchise owner, can make a Big Mac and bag up fries, but it wouldn't be fast food because it'd be taking him forever to do it all by himself. Just to walk from the back where the burgers are to the side where the fries are and to the front where the counter is would take him too long. People would get tired, they leave. All right, and I've worked at McDonald's, so I know what I'm talking about. Point number 2, talent. Second thing, you must admit that you do not possess in unlimited quantities. While you can do everything on your own, you probably can't do everything well. And there is a difference. It is levels to this shit. I thought I was a pretty good trainer of myself till I met Maria and realized that she knew things that I didn't even know I was missing. All right, that's what I mean when I say it's levels to this shit. People who have talent that you don't have know about stuff and can do things that you didn't even know you weren't doing. All right, Puff Daddy was not the most talented person in the room at his record label, but he was the boss because he knew how to leverage talent. DJ Khaled is not a rapper. He is not really that much of a producer, but he puts out all these songs and he's a famous musician. I guess we call him a musician. He doesn't even make any music because he knows how to leverage other people's talents. Point number 3, you need to focus on the main thing. What are you great at? What can you do better than anyone or close to better than anyone? And if an insurance adjuster had to place a price tag on the marketability of every skill you have, which one is worth the most? Now, how much time, what percentage of your time are you spending on that as opposed to anything else in your life? If it's not 100% or close to 100 and you don't see a path to getting into 100, it's because you don't have a team in place. You need to work on your game. Dre all day.